You know, every construction project is this incredible, complex dance of people, materials, and deadlines. But what's the one thing that can bring the whole show to a screeching halt? Communication. Or, well, a lack of it. Today, we're going to lay down a solid blueprint for getting it right, so you can stop costly mistakes before they even start.
So let's kick things off with a number that should honestly make everyone on a job site just stop and think. 48%. According to a study by FMI, nearly half of all the money spent on rework and construction comes directly from bad project data and miscommunication. I mean, that is a staggering amount of wasted time, money, and pure effort, all because somebody, somewhere, didn't get the memo.
And this really shows you just how fragile the whole system is. It's not always about one giant, catastrophic failure. Nope. It's the small stuff. It's the little things, like an architect sending an outdated drawing, which leads to the wrong materials being ordered, which then snowballs into this massive headache that can set a project back for weeks and cost a fortune.
So, why is getting communication right so incredibly hard in construction? Well, a huge part of it starts with just the sheer number of people involved. Let's try to untangle this complex web of stakeholders.
First off, let's be crystal clear on who we're even talking about here. A stakeholder is basically anyone, any person, any team, any company who has a stake in the project. Either they can be impacted by the outcome or they themselves can impact the outcome. It's a really broad definition, and for a very good reason.
Because when you actually start listing them out, you realize, whoa, this gets complicated fast. You've got the client or the owner, right? Then the project manager, the main contractors, all the different subcontractors, the site supervisors, and of course the crews on the ground doing the work. But wait, there's more. You've got the architects, the engineers, and even government bodies for permits and inspections. And here's the kicker. Every single one of these groups needs different information and, let's be honest, kind of speaks their own professional language.
Trying to manage all of that on the fly, without a real system, that is an absolute recipe for disaster. So, what's the solution? How do you bring order to the chaos? You need a roadmap. You need a formal communication plan.
Now, a communication plan isn't just some vague idea or a suggestion you talk about once. It is a formal document. Its entire job is to spell out exactly how, when, and where information gets shared between every single person involved for the entire life of the project. Think of it as the single source of truth that everyone can rely on.
The best part about this is how simple it can be. A really strong plan just answers 5 basic questions, the 5 W's. First, who needs to communicate? Next, what information are we actually sharing? Is it updates, reports, approvals? Then, when does this communication happen? Is it daily, weekly, monthly? From there, you get to how it's delivered. Is it in a meeting, through an app, in a formal report? And finally, the really important one, where are all these conversations and documents stored? If you can answer these 5 simple questions for everyone on the project, you are 90% of the way there.
Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look like in practice? Let's move from just understanding what a plan is to actually seeing how you can build one for your own projects.
And this right here, this is the heart of it. A simple table just like this one can become your entire communication Bible. You just list the stakeholder, figure out exactly what they need to know, the method, how often they need it, and, this is absolutely critical, who is the person responsible for making sure it happens. So, the owner might need budget updates in a monthly report from the PM. Meanwhile, the field crews need their daily tasks and safety alerts every single morning from their supervisor. The beauty of this is that it leaves zero room for guessing. It's crystal clear who's responsible for what.
Now, having this level of clarity does a lot more than just make things run smoothly. It actively stops problems from ever starting in the first place. Let's look at why a solid plan is your #1 tool for avoiding disputes.
I mean, this slide really says it all, doesn't it? It's night and day. On one side, you have the default state for so many projects: total chaos, endless rework, and constant disputes. But with a plan, you replace all of that with clarity, with accountability, and with trust. All of a sudden, people can make decisions faster because the right people have the right information at exactly the right time. It completely changes the vibe of the entire project.
Now look, a framework like the one we just saw, even if it's just on a simple spreadsheet, is a fantastic start, a huge leap forward. But that plan is only as good as the tools you use to manage it. So let's talk about moving beyond the spreadsheet and into the future of construction management.
Let's be real for a second. Does this question hit a little too close to home?
Are you trying to manage a multi-million-dollar project with this messy patchwork of spreadsheets, endless email chains, and those absolutely chaotic WhatsApp groups? If that sounds familiar, you already know how easy it is for a critical piece of information to get buried, ignored, or just, poof, lost forever.
And that's exactly where modern, dedicated tools come into the picture. To really bring your communication plan to life, it's time to digitalize your workflow with a platform like Lementai.com. It's built specifically to get rid of the spreadsheets and the scattered messages and to bring all of your project communication into that one single source of truth we've been talking about. You can even start a free trial today and just see the difference for yourself.
And on that note, a huge thank you to Lementai for making this explainer possible. Just remember, clear communication isn't just part of the project, it's the foundation everything else is built on. Make sure yours is built to last.